Top 10 reasons why Amazon is better than eBay. This is based on my own experiences with a dropship program. I coach people who sell for me, and I watch what basically goes on with all the people below me that are selling my items. Number one, it is more difficult to increase your limits on eBay. Now on Amazon, you actually do not have limits. However, you should limit yourself in some respects when you start selling on Amazon. Now, what I mean is basically you have to put yourself in their shoes and how they think. The way they think is basically they do it at a risk ratio where they actually have people who manage your risk to their company. So they look at your previous history of sales for the last month, and then they gauge how much they're going to trust you on your sales the next month. So if you didn't sell anything last month because you got a brand new account, you shouldn't go hog wild crazy selling stuff on Amazon the first month you're listing on there. You should start out slow and gradually increase it over time to have the best overall experience with selling on there. Now eBay is the same way, except for eBay forcibly limits you, and they take a lot longer time to start trusting you. Also with eBay, you could be in an established seller and have high limits, and all of a sudden out of nowhere you have a bad customer who gives you a lot of trouble, gives you a dispute, and it could in some cases cause your limits to lower, and which is sort of odd when you think that they would just out of nowhere because of one bad customer or two bad customers on a product. But that happens. So obviously with Amazon, they trust you quicker. There really isn't a physical limit on your sales, so it ends up being better overall. Number two, on eBay, it is more difficult to gain one product that quickly sells over and over. What I mean by this, I've noticed this pattern with some of my sellers that on eBay, they never really seem to get as big of a pattern of repeat sales on the same product as you do with Amazon. With Amazon, it's like hand over fist sometimes if you got the right product. It just is crazy. So I would say Amazon's better in that respect for sure. Number three, there are more scammers on eBay than on Amazon. Now, it's true actually. I can tell from experience with all my sellers. Usually you have more scammers on eBay. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't any on Amazon. Of course there are. But with eBay, you tend to have some of the sellers going around and buying from other sellers. And the sellers seem to know very well all the eBay rules and how they can use them to their advantage. And also some sellers are kind of dirty and they'll make fake accounts and they'll go buy from their competition so they can screw their competition because they know it works in some cases. However, you wouldn't want to do that against one of my sellers because I actually got two of you guys kicked off last year for doing that kind of crap. Because I easily can point out your history and show eBay what you're doing, and then they kick you off and then you actually lose all the disputes. Isn't that cool? Okay, number four, on Amazon, you can make use of their FBA program so you don't need to ship out items. I mean, doesn't that sound pretty cool? You just buy a bunch of items, 50 of whatever product A, and you send them over to Amazon and they ship them out for you. You don't even have to ship anything. It's kind of like drop shipping, it's pretty cool. So that's better than eBay for sure. I would say number five is it takes more to get in trouble on Amazon than it does eBay. Amazon tends to have more faith in you, I think, than eBay. Like I indicated on number one, they tend to trust you quicker with how much volume of sales you have. They tend to also, not assume there's something wrong with you just because you have a dispute. So I would say Amazon is a little bit more lenient when you have problems than eBay is. And sometimes with eBay, they can just be ridiculous a little bit, Although I've seen cases, if a good way to leverage eBay when you're in a situation where you're having troubles is to continually call them on the phone. Because if you get the right person on the phone at eBay, you can often really leverage it to your advantage, and they won't, turn against you so quickly as if you never call them. If you never call them and you start having a bunch of problems, don't be surprised if your account gets shut down. That's true, actually. But if you're calling them on the phone and you're trying to work through all the trouble, I mean, usually you can last a lot longer that way. That's just some advice for anybody who has troubles on eBay. Number 6, buyers don't make as big of a deal over feedback on Amazon as eBay. What I mean by that, maybe that's not clear what I'm trying to say there. What I'm saying is when a buyer is looking at your feedback on eBay, they're seeing it with 100%, like 99.5. You know what I mean? It's more digits. Now with Amazon, you just got 5 stars. You know what I mean? So if you see 4 stars or 3 stars, you don't really think terrible of it. But if you saw 3 stars on eBay, that's like 60% feedback. You know what I mean? I mean, that'd be like, what the hell? I ain't going to buy from that dude. He's obviously the worst guy ever on eBay. You know what I mean? Actually, what's the worst I've ever seen on eBay? I think I saw someone with like a 60% that had like a lot of feedback once. That was a long time ago. They don't let that stuff slide anymore. I mean, you can't do that anymore. But on Amazon, you could get away with some of that stuff, and people will still buy from you because it's stars, And then when you see stars, you think of like movies, because people are really terrible when they rate movies. A movie that's like 6 stars is a good movie. You know what I mean? It's like a good movie. A 4-star movie is probably a B movie. And I'm talking out of 10 stars. You got like 4 out of like IMDb. If you have 6 stars on a 10-star movie, that's a good movie. If you have 9 stars or 8 stars, that's like the best movie that's ever been made or something. You know what I mean? So, okay, you never see 10 stars on a movie. Number 7, customers are willing to wait longer on Amazon to receive their item as compared to eBay. On eBay, if it's too late, even if you have the tracking number showing it's almost to their house, they could get a free item if it doesn't fit into their stupid little date. It's kind of like a pizza, like 15-minute rule on pizza. If you don't get it to me in 15 minutes, it's free. Except for in this case, it's not a pizza. It's your Samsung S5 cell phone. And, it just got lost in the mail for some reason because there was a tornado in Kansas or whatever. And that stuff happens, man. There's a guy who commented on one of my videos. He got kicked off eBay because of this. It was the post office's fault. They lost all his packages. He had like one day, he had like a huge business. He had like 10 sales in one day that got lost. The mailman lost them. They don't even know what happened to them. They're just gone. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody stole a USPS truck and just ran off or something. I don't know. But he lost his eBay account because they wouldn't believe him. Which actually, that should be a number 11. Maybe that'll be number 10 on my list here. Number 10 and a half here. That I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, number 8. Overall, there is less ability for you to screw up your own advertisement on Amazon due to them already have created the ad, and on eBay, you have to make your own ad, right? But on Amazon, all you got to do is fact check. You just got to make sure you listed it on the right item, which people still do wrong. Don't get me wrong. I've even had some of my sellers do that. They'll put it on the wrong ad, and then the customer wants to return it. Gee, I wonder why. Because it's the wrong model. It can cause issues because with Amazon, sometimes you have like the old version and the new version of something. And I'll say like manufacturing, no longer manufactured or whatever, and then I'll have the new version. You know what I mean? And if you accidentally list it on the wrong one, people freak out. You know what I mean? So that can be a negative on Amazon in that respect. But with eBay, you make your own ad, and if you miscategorize it or mislabel it or something, it can cause you a lot of trouble. Particularly if you're using that eBay autofill, and it just so happens to pick a model that's very similar to the one you're selling, but it's not the exact same one. And then it puts a video on your advertisement. And people watch videos. They don't read ads. You know what I mean? So you accidentally got this video plopped up on your advertisement. You don't even watch the video because you're thinking, oh, they did it right, But then if you went and watched the video, it's a completely different model. And then the customer thinks they're getting that model that they see on the video, and they buy from you, and then they get a different thing in the mail, and they're pissed off. That actually happened last year on one of my items. Okay, so let's see. Number 9, eBay will in some cases throw gasoline on a bad situation, when you get frozen. buy. It doesn't happen all the time, but I've seen it happen maybe, I don't know, maybe 20% of the time, 20% of the time. If you get frozen on eBay and you were selling a lot of a particular item, and then all of a sudden you had some complaints out of nowhere on that item, and they just like freak out on you because maybe you started selling them like crazy out of nowhere and you didn't really have a lot of history on it, that freeze your account, and then they go contact like the last 10 people that bought it saying don't trust this seller. And next thing you know, you got 10 disputes in your PayPal. Isn't that awesome? It's like so awesome. Just like negative $5 million. No, I'm joking. So, I mean, yeah, that can happen. And I've seen it in a couple cases. It's like about, I think the last one I saw was maybe 2013. I remember somebody that happened to, and I was like feeling pretty bad for him. I'm like, man, that's bullshit, dude. That's bullshit. You know? Dang, that's bull crap. You don't throw gasoline on a freaking fire, dude. I mean, it's like they hate you, you know, like, haha, look at that guy, his account got frozen. Here, let's throw some gas on it. Yeah. That's basically what they do. Number 10, customers on Amazon are more normal and not super internet savvy. They're like your grandmother or maybe some, you know, dude, it's like 50 years old that has money. You know what I'm talking about? Not like some 23-year-old that is trying to buy a guitar from you and he has an eBay account as well and he knows exactly how he could screw you, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, that's kind of screwing up the demographics a little bit, but you get what I'm saying. It's kind of like that. Amazon, you get normal people buying. eBay, you get sort of like, you know, geeks buying from you, you know, people that know how to play the system. And, you know, with Amazon being the way I'm saying, then you have, you know, less potential for someone manipulating the system against you. So, I don't know. Those are just my reasons why I think Amazon's better than eBay. I probably made it sound far worse than it is, but, you know, it is better. I think Amazon is better than eBay. eBay's still viable. It's just you got to know how to deal with the bullshit. You know what I mean?